Ethan and Olivia's life looked like the cover of a luxury magazine. A sprawling home in a quiet Austin suburb to pristine electric SUVs and trendy weekend brunch. They were the power couple, the living embodiment of the American dream. But behind the custom-made doors, a cold, hollow silence was growing, slowly destroying their 7-year marriage. In our culture, we're taught to believe in the hustle. Productivity is a virtue, and financial security is the ultimate expression of love. Ethan was a disciple of this belief. His day began at 5 a.m. with an espresso and a laptop. He believed that paying a huge mortgage, maintaining a perfect credit score, and maxing out his 401k fulfilled his duty as a husband. To Ethan, love was a transaction. He provided the lifestyle, so the relationship was successful. He often told Olivia, "I'm doing all of this for us, for our future." But in his race toward the future, he was step by step deleting their present. Olivia, an interior designer with a soul for art and connection, felt the walls closing in. Her home, filled with the finest furniture, began to feel like a gilded cage. When Ethan would finally pull in at 9 p.m., Olivia didn't want a new designer bag. She wanted him to ask how her day was. She wanted him to look her in the eyes without checking his Apple Watch. But his routine was ironclad: eat in front of a screen, answer urgent messages, and collapse into bed. If she tried to start a conversation, he'd say, "Olivia, I've had a 12-hour day. I just need some peace and quiet. Is that too much to ask?" This was the beginning of the Great Divide. In psychology, it's known as emotional foreclosure. When a partner feels their emotional needs are consistently ignored, they stop asking. They stop fighting. Olivia stopped complaining. She stopped asking for date nights. Ethan mistook this for peace. He thought she finally understood, but in reality, Olivia was quiet quitting her marriage. We often treat relationships like appliances. If they're not making noise, we assume they're working fine. He forgot a relationship is more like a living garden. If you don't water it with attention, it withers. One rainy Tuesday, Ethan came home early. He'd just closed a massive deal and gotten a huge promotion. He was ecstatic, imagining telling Olivia they could finally buy that vacation home. But as he stepped inside, the house was dark and silent. "Olivia, I have the best news," he called out. His voice only echoed back. He walked into the kitchen. On the marble island sat a single white envelope and her wedding ring. His heart skipped a beat. He picked up the note. It wasn't long, but it shattered his reality. "Ethan, you spent 7 years building a house for us, but you forgot to live in it with me. I waited for you in every room, at every dinner, and in every conversation we never had. You provided the dream, but you killed the dreamer. I can't be lonely in a shared house anymore. I finally found the silence you always asked for." Ethan sat on the floor of his designer kitchen, surrounded by everything he had worked for. He had the money, the status, and finally, the silence. But looking at the empty hallway, he realized he had built a kingdom only to sit on the throne alone. He had won the American dream, but lost the reason he started dreaming in the first place. If you're watching this, thinking about your next move, stop. Don't let the hustle blind you to the person waiting for you at home. Providing isn't just about the paycheck. It's about being present. Because once the silence becomes permanent, no amount of money can buy back the sound of their voice. Subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of modern love. If this story hit home, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Have you ever felt lonely in a shared room? Thanks for watching.